Hi, welcome to my analytics channel. For this video, I will demonstrate on how to write an object-oriented programming implementing an encapsulation approach. The method of this encapsulation actually is to combine all your data members and functions in a class to prevent the access of the data directly, and the only thing that you can access the data is through the functions of the class. And to do this, we have to make all our data members in a private access specifier, and we will create a public setter and getter function for each data. Okay, I will show you on how to write the code implementing an encapsulation approach in object-oriented programming. Okay, first thing to do is you have to include your library input-output operation or IO stream, then followed by this one for our in and out standard. Okay, the first is you have to create your class, okay, with a keyword class, followed by the name of your class computation, then the opening curly braces, followed by this closing curly braces with the semicolon. Okay, we have to make our data members as private for the rate per unit, and the number of units, our data member should be units. Then, of course, we have to multiply this rate per unit and number of units, so we have another data member for the total fees. Okay, since we set already our data members as private, now you can only access this data members through its functions, and make it sure that your function is set as public. Okay, so we have to set our function as public. Then you now create your function. Okay, your function data type is double. Then let's say the name of our function is total fees. Okay, that's the name of the function. Then what's the behavior of this function is to allow our user to access the rate per unit, because we will be setting here the rate per unit, and we allow them to enter the number of units and compute. Okay, so we have to set our rate 1,000 pesos. Then you have to display the rate per unit, then access that rate. Okay, then we have also our number of units. We allow our user to enter the number of units. Okay, then in, that's units. Okay, then of course we have to calculate the total is equal to rate multiplied by the units. Then we have to see out this, display the total fees. Okay, then we'll access our total. Then you have the return value for the total, since we are declaring our function as double. But if you're using boy, you don't need to return. Okay, after doing this, as you can see, we have our private data members. And to access these data members, so we set our functions as public. So this is the name of our functions. Now, since we already done this, we have to proceed to our main method, and we create an object for our class. So the name of our class is computation. Then we create an object name. This object name is user defined, so you can name your object whatever you want. For example, OBJ. That particular object name will be used to access your function which is the total fees. Then you have to type your total fees here. Then after that, of course, let's check it first, but I want to integrate this one for us to view the output. It's greater 0. Okay. Then let's check it first. Let's apply here, new line. Okay. For also with this, in this part. Okay, this is the code for encapsulation. Later, we'll modify that for another version on how to write the code for encapsulation approach. So let's run this first. Okay, there we have it. Then let's apply. Okay, we will apply the two decimal places because this is an amount. So we have to incorporate here the fix, then set precision. Okay, and all you have to do is to copy this one for you to apply on this part, the total fees. Okay, then since you're using this fixed set precision 2, okay, you have to incorporate your library, put output manipulation for that purpose. Okay, so let's try. This is our previous output. Let's try to run it again. Okay, so now the two decimal places, our set precision is applied already in our output. Okay, there are other version on how to write a program. Let's say we have to modify this. We have to separate this one and this one. So therefore, we will create another coding technique. Okay, so that we can create another method. Okay, so we will create another method for that. For example, we'll create for the number of units, integers, integer. Why integer, our data type? Because we declare our data members as integer. And so our another method, let's modify this code. Okay, I will show you other technique on how to create another method. Okay, so let's say this is a number of units or number units here. That's the name of our method. Then all you have to do, let's make it bigger so that you can, okay, view it. All you have to do, you will transfer this one for you to create a new method, Next, and you transfer it here for you to create another method. Also, we will transfer this one for you also to create another method for that. Double. This is another technique, no? Okay, this is another technique. Okay, then tuition fee. Let's say the name of our function is tuition fee, and you can transfer this one, okay, to here. And now you have three functions, as you can see. Okay, so you have three functions here. We have the total fees, we have the number of units, and you have the tuition fee. Okay, you have three functions, so therefore, since you have three functions here, but don't forget to write a return keyword for our rate, and for this part, rate. Okay, so since we have three functions here, okay, now we have to add our object here, obj, to access. The first is, the first to display is our, so we will change this one, not total fees, but set rate sample. Okay, so let's type first here the first object that you're going to access, or the function that you're going to access is the first to be right here. Okay, set rate, as you can see. Okay, the next is the number of units, then obj number, or this one. All you have to do is select, then okay, then the last method is our tuition fee, obj. Okay, so this is another technique on how to write an OOP. As you can see, okay, in our previous example, we have only one functions, but in this code, we have three functions here: set rate, number of units, and the tuition fee. And we added, okay, our access here to our function here. Okay, let's run this code if it is working. Okay, there we have it, still working. Okay, now there's also another approach. Okay, let's modify again the code. If you want to write this particular code technique, okay, you have to display. If you want to write your function outside the class, you can also do that. Okay, just okay, we'll transfer that, for example, outside the class. When you say outside the class, after this, okay, if that is outside the class, so what you're going to do is you have to write here your no double, then set rate, that one, because we transfer our function outside the class, so we have to write this code here. Then after that, so this one you have also to change this. Okay, let's make it bigger. You have also to change this because this is outside the class. Okay, you have to type the class name. This is the class name, computation. So you can do like this. Then the scope resolution for that. Okay, now we'll access that already. Then for this part, how we do that to access this particular function is you have to add computation, then the set rate. As you can see, you can also do that. Okay, as you can see, so this particular part, we change that, and our function is outside the class. So what we're doing here is you have to, of course, type your class name here, then followed by the scope resolution and your function. And for you to access this, you have to write like this, okay, your class name and your function. Unlike this one, okay, in our previous example, let's try to run this. Okay, same output. Okay, and the last one, okay, you can do the same to all your functions. Okay, all you have to do is to type, okay, units. You have to establish it here, units. Then the body of your function will be, okay, here outside your class. But of course, to do that, you have to type your class name here, computation, sorry, and like that. Okay, then also we transfer this one. Okay, you have to type double tuition fee. So then we transfer this cut, and we will declare that outside the class. Okay, then to access, you have to type your class name followed by the scope resolution. Okay, then of course you have to change this one. You have to add, okay, like that. And for this part, okay. So as you can see, so we have established here our data members and our function, but the body of our function here, it's outside the class. Okay, this is how you write the code if you want to have your function body outside the class, but still you can access because of this one. Okay, so call your the scope for your class. So let's run it again. Let's say, okay, same output. Okay, those are the three techniques on how to write an encapsulation. So I hope that you learned this demonstration, and thank you for watching.